And welcome to VOSR International, the voice of shortwave radio. I'm your host, Wavecrest Guy. This broadcast is being transmitted by WRMI, Radio Miami International, in Okeechobee, Florida, on both 9455 and 15770 kilohertz. This broadcast is also being transmitted by shortwave radio in Lower Saxony, Germany, on 3975 kilohertz. So we're going to go ahead and start out this broadcast with some announcements. First off, we are getting close to the 1-year anniversary of VOSR International, the voice of shortwave radio. I can't believe it. We did start this broadcast. The very first broadcast went out on February 28th of 2025. So we are closing in on that landmark milestone. And it's something I was really proud of because when I started this, I didn't know how well it was going to be received. And just didn't know how it was going to work out. And so far it's worked out great. Reception from all the listeners has been great. And it's always good to get communications from everyone. People are heading over to the website and checking out all the information that we have over there, checking out our merchandise, checking out the listener map and the other listener radios. So it's been a really great experience. And I want to announce that for that upcoming, so continue to keep listening. We are going to have a radio giveaway, and I'll announce more information on that later. But we will have a radio giveaway coming up for the 1-year anniversary of VOSR International. Also, you can communicate with us if you're on Facebook, by heading over to VOSR International. You can join the group over there, and don't forget you can also check out our schedule on there, and I will be updating the schedule, of course, whenever there are any changes. But I'm going to go over it right now in case you want to grab a pen and go ahead and write this down or hit your recorder and record it. But I will go over to how our schedule is for right now. There are a couple days and times that WRMI has added in their schedule to use as filler time. And so those were a couple that I was unaware of until after they started broadcasting them. So here goes. Starting on Thursdays at 1900 UTC on 3975 kilohertz, and that is broadcast out of Shortwave Gold out of Lower Saxony, Germany. Then on Saturday, we are on at 0200 UTC on 5850 kilohertz, broadcast by WRMI out of Okeechobee, Florida. Next, right after that on Saturdays at 0300 UTC on 9455 kilohertz, we are broadcast by WRMI out of Okeechobee, Florida. Next, last Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kilohertz, broadcast by WRMI out of Okeechobee, Florida. And our last broadcast is on Mondays at 1600 UTC on 15770 kilohertz, again broadcast by WRMI from Okeechobee, Florida. So for right now, for the winter schedule, that is what we have. If we have any changes to that, I will send out a newsletter on the website. I'll also add it on there so you can go check it out. I will also have it on our Facebook page at VOSR International. You can go there and check out and join that group also. Don't forget, we also are on Reddit if you use that platform. Over there we're under Grundig Shortwave Radio. I actually started that group before I started doing the VOSR International broadcast. So that group has been around a little bit longer than VOSR, but you don't have to have a Grundig radio. All radios are welcome. You can go over there, check things out. You can do posts and post your reception videos, questions, or post your equipment. It's a really nice group with a large number of people there that are there to. It's great to share your information and help others out. And lastly, you can head over to my YouTube channel, Wavecrest Guy. Over there, I do have a playlist of all the VOSR International past broadcasts. After they are done broadcast, and sometimes I do have a rebroadcast, right after that last rebroadcast, within the next couple of days, I usually make it available to that playlist. So you can go over there at Wavecrest Guy over on YouTube. We also have those past broadcasts linked over at our website at VOSRinternational.com. A lot of stuff over there to check out. We've got a story where you can get some VOSR International products. We've got hats and notepads and mugs and shirts, so you can go check that out. And then, of course, we have our listener map, which is really getting a lot of pins on it and really getting quite a few more over in Europe with our broadcasts going on 15770 kilohertz and on 3975 kilohertz out of Germany. So that is filling up nicely and actually going down into Australia now on 15770 kilohertz, especially on Mondays. Seems to be working very well over in the New Zealand, Australia area. Also, remember, we still have some postcard QSL cards that we do send out. So if you send in reception reports and want a QSL postcard mailed to you, just give me your mailing address and I'll get those out. We did just get a email from Klaus from Langenhagen, Germany, and he sent a reception report back from December 4th. And here on January 12th, he just received it. So they do take a while to come from the small post office here in Molokai, Hawaii, outgoing across the world. So even to the mainland USA, they've been taking a couple weeks at times, depending on where you're located at. So keep that in mind, and you can send in reception reports at VOSRINT@yahoo.com, VOSRINT@yahoo.com, or while you're on the website, go over to VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and send us a message that way. And now, on to the show. And now for another segment of On This Day in Shortwave Radio History. This one's going to be a little bit different. It's going to dive into one subject, and it is one that has been a mystery for decades and decades now, and is about Amelia Earhart. And so on July 2nd of 1937, she disappeared over the Pacific Ocean while attempting to become the first female pilot to circumnavigate the world. During her life, she was an embraced figure. She was like Lindbergh at the time, and she's been a cult figure basically for her whole life. She was the first female pilot to fly solo nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean, and she set many other records, and especially as the first female. She's one of the first aviators to promote commercial air travel, and she wrote best-selling books about her flying experience, so you can always check those out. Now, she was trying to circumnavigate the world, and on July 2nd of 1937, she disappeared. And she was declared dead on January 5th of 1939. So, quite a few, almost a couple of years later, is when she was declared dead. So they searched for her so much, and it was just amazing at the time, all the resources that were used to try to find out what happened. So in 1937, during an attempt to become the first woman to complete a circumnavigational flight of the globe, she was flying a Lockheed Model 10E Electra airplane. Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, disappeared near Howland Island in the Central Pacific Ocean. The two were last seen in New Guinea. Their last land stop before Howland Island, a very small location where they were intending to refuel. It is generally believed that they ran out of fuel before they found Howland Island and crashed into the ocean near the destination. Nearly 1 year and 6 months after she disappeared, she was officially declared dead, and she would have been 41 years of age. And of course, the mysterious nature of Earhart's disappearance caused so much interest in her public life. Her airplane was never found, which led to speculation and conspiracy theories of the outcome of the flight.
Decades after her presumed death, Earhart was inducted into the National Aviation Hall of Fame in 1968 and the National Women's Hall of Fame in 1973. There are several commemorative memorials around the United States in her honor. So, of course, with something like this, there's so much speculation out there. And again, speculation. And a lot of people have their theories on what might have happened. But while most historians believe Earhart and Noonan crashed and sank in the Pacific Ocean, a number of other possibilities have been proposed, including several conspiracy-type theories. The Gardner Island hypothesis supposes that Earhart and Noonan were unable to find Howland Island and continued south. Gardner Island, one of the Phoenix Islands that is known, has been the subject of inquiry of a possible crash landing site. But despite numerous expeditions, no links between the Earhart and that island were found. The Japanese capture theory also assumes that Japanese forces captured Earhart and Noonan after they navigated to the Japanese South Seas Mandate. A number of Earhart's relatives have been convinced the Japanese were somehow involved in her disappearance, citing unnamed witnesses, including Japanese troops and Saipan natives. The New Britain theory assumes that Earhart turned back mid-flight and tried to reach the airfield of New Britain, northeast of the mainland of Papua New Guinea, approximately 2,200 miles from Howland Island. In 1990, Donald Angwin, a veteran of the Australian Army's World War II New Britain campaign, reported that in 1945 he had seen a wrecked aircraft in the jungle that may have been Earhart's Electra. Subsequent searches of the area failed to find any wreckage. Then in November 2006, National Geographic Channel aired an episode of its series of undiscovered history and supposed Earhart survived the world flight, changing her name, remarried, and became another person. This claim has originally been published in a book, Amelia Earhart Lives, which is based on research from Joseph Gervais. And shortly after the book's publication, a lawsuit was filed requesting damages, and then the book was removed from the market. So, so many conspiracy theories and things that could have happened, and now we'll kind of go into the shortwave radio aspect of it, and some of the some information about it, which could link to the flight. So, in July 1937, a young teenager named Betty Klinick listened to shortwave bands on her family's radio, intercepted and transcribed pleas for help that TIGHR calls a remarkable record of perhaps the last communication from Earhart and Noonan, and leave little doubt that the 15-year-old heard a genuine distress call from the pair, transmitted from the aircraft's Electra. Klinick's notebook, discovered in 2000, inspired TIGHR's effort to catalog all reception reports. They analyzed for nearly 60 other reception reports made in the wake of Earhart's failure to arrive at Howland Island. The vast majority came from the government and commercial operators, as well as licensed amateurs working the U.S. Interior Department on Howland and Baker Islands. Listening on Earhart's primarily and harmonically related frequencies of 3105 kHz and 6210 kHz. They contend that higher order harmonics of the primary frequencies enabled accidental reception of Earhart's transmission at greater distances, since those higher frequency signals would be more prone to ionospheric propagation. So reports came from the Pacific and continental U.S., but poor reception appears to have been precluded efforts to pin down the plane's coordinates, although Earhart did report that she was on a 337 degree track to Howland and down on uncharted island. That was small and uninhabited. The radio transmissions became progressively more desperate, with Earhart reported that Noonan was injured and subsequently delirious. The commander of the U.S. Coast Guard vessel, which was involved in the search, discounted the contemporary radio reception report, saying that all available land areas had been searched. He expressed doubt that Earhart and Noonan had made any radio transmissions at all after the plane disappeared on July 2nd of 1937. So this definitely does add a new wrinkle to the mystery of Earhart's disappearance. It's kind of fascinating that somebody may have been listening to shortwave radio and come across distress calls, distress signals, distress messages from Earhart way back then, and hearing them on a radio and actually recording them, which is another something that usually would not happen. So it definitely adds another wrinkle to this really complex mystery that has never been totally solved, and there are a lot of theories out there. So tell us what you think. Send us a message at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. I'm going to have a page devoted to this. I will have a couple links to some videos on Earhart and some other links to some of the reports that I went over during this segment. You can check those out. So check us out on our website at VOSRinternational.com. You can always click on the mail icon and contact us that way. All right, so we are going to do a programming segment. And I had mentioned before, last time I did one of these, that WRMI has really added on quite a few new programs and some interesting stuff. It wasn't that long ago we had Chris O'Brien on from the IQ40, a really creative, quick, entertaining half hour. And you can catch the IQ40 on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on 9455 kilohertz. Great show. Check that out. You can also go back to our past broadcasts, and you can hear Chris. He did a segment on our show not too long ago. Today, we are going to go and go over a new program. Again, this one isn't brand new. The program started on November 23rd of 2025, but still pretty new. And it is the Dead Air Rado Crypt. Again, this is another one, a very creative show, and the cast. When you hear this segment, you're going to find out how talented the cast is, and it is a really great show. The time flies when you're listening to the show. So let's have the cast of the Dead Air Rado Crypt come on and go ahead and introduce themselves and talk about the show.
Hello, everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Blake Earl, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Dead Air Rado Crypt, and I play Professor Gilman on Tennessee Macabre. And I am joined by my friend and associate, Duke Ralston. Duke, say hi.
Hi, Duke. Everybody out there in Radio Land, hello. As Blake said, my name is Duke Ralston. I play the Grim Reaper in Tennessee Macabre, and I co-host the Dead Air Rado Crypt.
Absolutely. Duke helps pick our music.
Yes, I do. I help pick the music. Occasionally, I help with the radio shows when Rob and Kat can't. For me, looking at it with Tennessee Macabre has been going now for about 10 years, and we host classic horror movies on YouTube, and we've been on various internet channels. But one of the things that we looked at early on was doing radio shows, old-time radio shows, because there's a tremendous amount of virtually untouched story material out there that our audience has never heard before. And we wanted to get that out. We didn't see a way to really do it with Tennessee Macabre, but that was always in the back of my mind. And we've done various iterations of the music that we're doing. We did Hellbilly Hootenanny. We did Jukebox from Mars. And it occurred to me, number one, I love shortwave radio, and we had never attempted to get a show on shortwave radio. Number two, marry the punk rock, the rockabilly, the music that we love, that we associate with horror movies, with the old time classic radio, horror, science fiction, fantasy shows. They're tremendous. And so that's where this idea come from. I pitched it with Blake. Blake, of course, is hugely, bigly in the music scene, and he can tell you about that.
Yeah, I've been in the music scene for a long time now, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I started in Athens when I was 17 years old, having to sneak into the clubs I was playing.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
More than once, they kicked me out after I got off stage. They're like, "No, man, I don't know how you got in, but you know."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been in the music scene in Athens and Atlanta since about 2002.
Yes.
Playing with local bands and collecting music, you know, collecting influences. And it's my great joy to like be playing punk rock on actual radio waves, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because punk rock didn't get a lot of radio play. Not really.
It didn't, and it still doesn't.
Well, and I mean, for good reason. The FCC would throw a fit over most of it.
Yes, indeed. That's one of the things that we like to do on the Dead Air Radio Crypt. We like to take artists that don't get a lot of radio play and put them on the airwaves, or some artists that you may be really familiar with. We go in and try to do deep cuts on their albums and dig up some songs that you're not familiar with. And then, of course, we love regional and local bands when we can
Love
find
them.
Yeah, love them.
Yeah. Actually, if you are a regional, local, unsigned, or undersigned band, you can contact us where, dude?
Tennessee Macabre at gmail.com.
Tennessee Macabre at gmail.com. Send us a couple tracks. Try and keep them radio friendly.
Yeah.
If they're not, they better be really good, because I don't want to have to go through with my little bleep button for nothing. Anyway, we've got another member of Tennessee Macabre here with us tonight, and a major part of the Dead Air Radio Crypt, Mr. Jesse Jones.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, buddy. How you doing?
Doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So, who do you play on Tennessee Macabre?
I play Robert Renfield,
Robert Renfield,
the mind control slave of, well, we don't say his name out of respect usually, but the master of this world and possibly the next, for all we know, you know.
Yeah, the master of the dark powers that exist beyond this world, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's. But how'd you come to play Robert Renfield? How'd you get involved in Tennessee Macabre?
There's not a lot of clubs around here in my neck of the woods. And my journey with music is different from what you described. I was in marching band in high school, and I fiddled around with rock bands, but I kind of gave up on it for a while. I was, watching myself getting older and kind of taking life too seriously. One of the ways that I decided to fix that was trying to take music more seriously. And as soon as, wouldn't you know it, in a lot of ways, as soon as I started doing that, my life started improving a lot. And one of those things was Duke calling me up one day and saying, "Hey, I didn't know you were a musician." And I was like, "Yeah, I try, and he offered to have me on the show as a musical guest. And so I went and did that. He said, "How would you like to play Renfield? Are you familiar with Dwight Fry?" And I said, yes, to some degree. And, then I spent a bunch of time listening to him do that laugh and trying to think about what kind of hijinks the master would get into. And it's just been a lot of fun, and it's really helped with my writing and music a lot, just being around other creative minds again.
One of the things I really like about the Dead Air Radio Crypt and Tennessee Macabre in general is that it's a lot of creative minds coming together,
Yes.
Like you said. Yeah. It's very much a choose your own adventure story for us. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only you can't really keep your finger in the last page like I used to do when I was a kid. Just in case, you know?
Yep, you can't. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, I need anyway to be around creative people. And this is a great way to do it. We're also able to get some great music out there, bring some radio shows to people that may never have seen them before, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
these are not something I was real familiar with, you know?
right.
That's where Rob and Cat come in, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
Because Rob and Cat run RoboCat Productions, which is another horror show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about them, dude?
RoboCat is out of Eureka, California, and they do things a little bit differently than Tennessee Macabre. They host, of course, they host the classic public domain shows that we all love and that Tennessee Macabre hosts as well, but they blend them with a little bit of horror rock music from the golden age of rock and roll. Most of it's from the golden age of rock and roll. And they always do at least one radio show. And they do mostly classic radio shows from the golden age, but they also create some radio shows. It's really unique. And if you haven't caught their show yet, I suggest you check them out on YouTube, RoboCat Productions. Of course, you can check out Tennessee Macabre as well on YouTube, Tennessee Macabre at 8865. One of the things that I remember growing up with my father always had a shortwave radio. And we would sit around sometimes in the summertime, play that thing, and listen to radio beamed in from all over the world. And that's something, it's hard to beat that feeling of listening to music, and it's coming out of Miami. We're on WRMI Radio Miami. We're also on Shortwave Gold. It's channel out of Germany. And you can listen to it, and there's maybe a little bit of interference or a little crackle every once in a while. And the same with that radio show. It's hard to beat that.
It's a way to reach outside of your little corner of the world too.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And I think growing up, in the rural southern United States, it's really easy to forget that there's something past that two stoplight town,
Yeah, there is.
And I think a lot of people do forget that.
Yes.
And I think that's what we're trying to combat, at least for ourselves, if not our listeners.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So we also have Hope and John here who play Ravinia and Dead John on Tennessee Macabre, and then Ravinia and Radio Johnny on the Dead Air Rado Crypt. So how are y'all doing tonight?
Pretty good. How about you?
Great.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're talking shortwave radio, rock and roll, and all things horror,
Groovy.
Yeah. So tell us about how you came up with your character, Hope, because I think one of the things that's really cool, something we were talking about with Jesse, is that like everybody kind of comes up with their own character, kind of develops everything together, It's a meeting of the minds,
Yes.
For sure. I had a lot of fun coming up with my character. Out of the blue one day, Duke says, let's do some Tennessee Macabre coming up and, working the shoot with us and just wear something kind of, gothy, horror hosty. So I wore a sort of, Elvira-ish dress, and I put on my goth jewelry. And one piece I had on was a nice necklace with a raven on it. And we were trying to think up a name for a character. And I think Duke and I kind of sort of at the same time went Ravinia, because Raven, Ravinia.
Yep.
And then, developed from there. In real life, my favorite color is purple. So it was an easy choice. I wanted Ravinia to love the color purple and wear purple a lot. In fact, sometimes she has purple hair. Her catchphrase, feathers and kisses, comes both from the fact that she's, a witchy raven, and that she's a big old flirt. So, feathers and kisses. And
Yeah.
Ravinia was born.
Yeah. I've known Hope as an actress for a lot longer than I've known Tennessee Macabre as a thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I took Hope's Chattanooga Ghost Tour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then years later, when we were doing Tennessee Macabre the first time, you're like, yeah, I used to be a car host or a ghost tour host. And I was like, yes, you did. All of a sudden, it all came flooding back. I was like, oh, my goodness.
It's a small world, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a small, small world, So, John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. Just loving it.
Loving it. Now, John plays Radio Johnny, who is our de facto old-timey mid-Atlantic accented radio host, right?
That's right.
So it's because you couldn't really play Dead John on the radio, could you?
No, I could not. I could not figure out how to pivot into that role. Yeah. I'm not the brains of this operation. I just do what I'm told here.
I don't think anybody's driving this mine car, man.
John does such a great job with voices. When you give him something, he runs with it.
Oh, he does. Yes, for sure.
And that's what we did with Radio Johnny, because we're sitting here going, crap, he's dead.
Yeah.
On the radio, it's not going to work. So, we come up with Radio Johnny.
And I love the character. I'm glad that you let me play it.
Dead John, doesn't speak, but in Tennessee Macabre, Dead John is so funny without any words at all. So it's also nice to see him hear him do the opposite with Radio Johnny. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I know wardrobe's not important on radio, but I kind of picture Dead John dressed up like the Monopoly dude. Radio Johnny dressed up like the Monopoly dude.
Yeah.
With a
skinny tie.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Or like one of those old-timey radio hosts, with the skinny tie and the cigarette with the ash that's like 3 feet long.
Yeah.
You're like, just hit the ashtray, bro. I know you're putting martinis in, but but it's a fun show. I really like having y'all on the Dead Air Rado Crypt,
Yes.
What does it mean to be hitting an international audience now?
Well, it's very exciting. I mean, and that's putting it lightly. It's just really interesting when you go into performing, you do it because you want people to hear you and experience you. So to know, people all over the place are here in our show, it's just a lot of fun.
As a man who has never been out of the southern United States, it's good to know that at least my voice will go places.
I was thinking about it. I've been overseas more times than I have crossed the Mason-Dixon line. I don't drive north very often because I don't like the cold.
Oh, I agree. Oof.
Yeah, New York in the spring was a bit chilly.
Yep.
But yeah, we're playing to a national and an international audience now, which is kind of wild considering, we're all from pretty small towns,
Small town Tennessee and Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. The town that John and I grew up in, its only claim to claim is that it's on the interstate exactly halfway between Atlanta and Chattanooga. That's the whole thing. And they didn't get a red light until I was about 10.
So one of the things that I like about this, I might have mentioned it earlier in the interview, I love sitting there listening to the shortwave radio. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if you wanted to buy an album, you went out to an antique store, or more than likely you went out to somebody's dump and found one because they were worthless. And now they're valuable again. And I kind of feel like the same thing is eventually going to happen with shortwave radio.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about a physical medium.
Yeah.
And something that's an event.
Yep.
It's nice to tune in. That's something that I've always liked about Tennessee Macabre. Has always been tune in TV,
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And it's really a lot of fun to work with everybody. Hope it's really great working with you because you take the craft so seriously.
Well, I try to. I know I'm passionate about it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's something, because I act because we needed a guy,
Yes.
we needed a dude, like they were like.
Yes. I'll tell you,
So,
I've come a long way since my first play in third grade. Back then they still had Christmas plays at school, and believe it or not, everyone, they said that I was the most innocent looking girl in the third grade, so they picked me to play Mary.
oh, goodness.
And I've come a long way since then.
Yeah.
Wow. So they had the nativity play, like that's the old
Yep.
school Christmas play, the Charlie Brown kind of Christmas play.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was
so-
holding a Cabbage Patch doll, and my
Oh, my
headdress
goodness.
kept slipping back. I'm like, no, stay.
Cabbage Patch Jesus. There's got to be a story in there someplace.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cabbage Patch Jesus sounds like a rap song from the early 90s.
Yeah. It does.
Maybe that was just me. I get the feeling a lot of kids were messing with me about music growing up. Yeah, man, you heard Cabbage Patch Jesus yet? No. So we used to play a drinking game back in the day,
Yeah.
Speaking of obscure music, and where my friends they would make up band names
Yeah.
and ask me if I'd heard of them.
Oh, that's great.
And if I were a few beers in, I'd be like, yeah, totally, man.
Of course.
I ain't heard them, but I've heard of them, Right.
We have a running list of possible band names that happen just in weird conversations. And one of my favorites is Bustle Crushers. I
Bustle
really
Crushers.
want a band named Bustle Crushers.
That would be a good steampunk band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There was a weird steampunk band thing that happened early in 2010s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I played with a lot of those guys.
Yeah. Steampunk got really big about that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then a lot of my friends who were like Sarah and the Safe Word, whom I know pretty well. I've known them for a long time. They used to practice in our practice space, actually. They kept having to go out and go, we're not steampunk. We just kind of dress weird. Like we're goth. Come on. Like we're goth.
Yeah.
Yeah, fancy dress goth, So it was it's fun time. So,
Yes.
we were all talking a little bit about our journey with music. I mean, you and Duke used to host a show that I would like to hear come back, Hope.
Yes.
Yeah. You hosted Pink Champagne a couple episodes, right?
Yes. I really enjoyed that. I would love for that to come back. I had a lot of fun with that.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the softer side.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Just
softer
very
side.
chill and enjoyable. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd love to do that again.
Yes.
Yeah, we should look into it.
Well, most people don't know this, but Duke is a very soft, sensual man.
I
He
am.
is. They
Just
call him the
naturally-
Velvet Reaper.
Thanks.
Yeah, I would like to see that's not something that I would rule out. I'd love to see Pink Champagne come back. I'd love to see it, maybe paired with some old time comedy radio.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, that would be fun.
And right now where we're at, it's a matter of money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to help us bring more shows to you, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Tennessee Macabre, and become one of our patrons. And when you do, you're automatically subscribed to Appalachian Book of the Dead. And tell them what they get for subscribing to Appalachian Book of the Dead, Blake.
You get a quarterly e-zine, which is like You remember the zines back in the day, like the little handmade punk rock flyer books?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Every college campus,
Mm-hmm.
had at least 3 circulating, and they were always called something like Pipe Bomb or something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and anyway, it's the pulp version of that online, and so about once a quarter I edit, I curate stories from some of our cast members, some of the people who write with us, a lot of the people who act with us, a lot of the people who contribute to the Dead Air Radio Crypt, and they're all original sci-fi, horror, pulp. We've got a couple noir we're gonna run soon, hard-boiled detective kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we're also putting out a big, and I haven't been telling anybody about this because I don't want to jinx myself, but we're putting out an anthology of it.
Yes, we are.
And that'll come out in a physical media.
Yep.
A book you can own.
That's great. That's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I said Blake puts a lot of work into that.
He does indeed. He does.
And if you
I
sign
do.
up,
It's a labor of love.
yes. And if you sign up, I just had another thought. Ravinia will send you feathers and kisses. Metaphorically speaking.
I was going to say.
Like, that's a lot of driving. That's an international.
Metaphorically speaking.
Do not underestimate my wife. She will
No,
make
I
out
don't.
with anybody.
I don't.
Not true. I never.
Not what I heard. It's a good time. Well, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for being with us tonight.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
And we
care of
want to
each other.
thank the voice of shortwave radio for having us on.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
thank
dude.
you.
This is such a huge thing to me.
It is. It
Like, being on
really is.
shortwave in general is really cool to me.
Yes, me too.
Well, take care of each other, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
So I want to thank the cast from the Dead Air Radio Crypt for coming on and talking about themselves and explaining the show. As you could tell, it's a really creative group, and when you have a crew like that, you need a crew like that to be able to put on a program like the Dead Air Radio Crypt. Just from the WRMI Facebook page, back when the program started on November 23rd of 2025, it says the Dead Air Radio Crypt is the punk horror psychobilly variety show you didn't know you needed. Hosted by members of the late night horror show Tennessee Macrame, produced in collaboration with RoboCat Productions. The show is a mix of underground music, B-sides, and rarities from the history of garage, punk, surf, psychobilly. Mixed in with the music are vintage radio pulp radio plays. It sure makes your nights a little lighter and darker all at once. This is a 2.5-hour program. So listen from 0300 UTC to 0530 UTC on Sundays at 5850 kilohertz. This is one of those shows that you're not going to just want to have running in the background a lot of times. You're going to want to be able to sit down and listen to this show and take it all in, because there's a lot of small nuances and stuff that you might miss otherwise. If you're out in the garage working on a car or something, you might be able to listen in and catch it all. But this is like a radio show of old, where you're going to want to be able to sit down and concentrate on the show. It's really a great show, and with very creative people making up and putting this show together. There's so much work going into a full 2.5-hour episode of the Dead Air Radio Crypt. So over on our website at VOSRinternational.com, I'm going to have a page dedicated to this, so you can go there and click on it. I'll have the information show's air times and frequencies and all that will be there on the page. I will have links to their YouTube channel. I believe they have an Instagram too. I'll put all the information and links over there. I'll even have a couple video clips that you'll be able to click on and check out. So head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com and you can get all the information you need on the Dead Air Rado Crypt. So let us know. Tell us, have you been listening to the Dead Air Rado Crypt? Let us know what you think. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. And now on to the mailbag. We're going to start out with Adrian, and Adrian has been great with sending me messages so I can find out how the propagation is and how the program gets broadcast out. He's over in Malta, and he tries to get us on 3975 kilohertz broadcast out of Germany. Then he also tries to get us on 15770 kilohertz, which goes over to Europe. And then when it's on a Monday, it's on earlier over there. So sometimes the propagation is better. So mostly it's been coming in halfway decent. The program on Saturday at 15770 kilohertz at 2300 UTC is the one that is not coming in very well over there in Malta. Adrian also just sent me an email from, this is on Monday of January 12th, and he was able to pick up the program on 15770 kilohertz at 1600 UTC with an SINPO of 55454. He sent a confirmation clip recording of that, and it was coming in pretty good. So looks like we got a couple good options over there for Adrian in Malta. Thanks again for sending the emails in, Adrian. It's really appreciated. Next, we have regular listener Robert, and he sent in just to say howdy, just listening on my brand new RSP DX2 with an MLA 30 plus antenna. Great show as usual. All the best, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for continuing to listen. I hope that radio really works out good for you. Let us know if it is working better than some of your others that you're using. Let us know. We'll be kind of interested on how that's working out there for you. Next, we have Rob over in Heinenoord, the Netherlands, and he was listening to our program on 3975 kilohertz. This was back on January 8th, and he reports an SINPO of 44434. And I did notice that his receiver was a JVC NRD 525, and he's using the MLA 30 plus magnetic loop. That MLA 30 plus is a really good antenna for the money, and it's one of those where really almost everyone should have because it's priced so reasonable and it works pretty well. It'd be a good complement to a long wire. Thank you, Rob, for your email and for listening. Next, we have Harry in northern Finland, and he writes, thank you for today's program. That's January 8th of 2026. Today, he also got his VOSR International QSL card. Nice card and nice stamps on it, too. It took a while to get there, but he did get it. He was listening on 3975 kilohertz, and he was using a web SDR receiver with a Delta loop. Reception was good for the whole show, an SINPO of 44444, and it was a S9 on the S meter. There was some kind of static noise like lightning strikes. I don't know the cause for it, but it should not be any thunder on the way in the middle of the winter. He did send a short clip, and he also sent a picture, a nice winter picture, and it is an area close to his home that he uses for outdoor activities. In the wintertime, there is cross-country track. At the moment, there's not enough snow for it, and right now it's pretty cold at minus 20 degrees Celsius. I did take that picture, and I put it over on our VOSR International website. It's under listener radios, but you can go check it out. Beautiful winter scene over there in Finland. Thank you so much, Harry. Next, we got an email from 54 Cal, and he writes, "Hello, great signal is booming in S9 on the Eaton Elite Executive using an MLA 30 plus antenna, and he's over in Northwest Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for the email, 54 Cal, and I hope to have you as a regular listener." And next, we have regular listener Justin, who sent us an email responding to our January 12th broadcast on 15770 kilohertz. He reports a very faint reception on the RSP Duo with an MLA 30 plus. He said it was likely due to his poor antenna placement, though, and he ended up switching over to a Kiwi SDR in Carterville, Illinois, which received the show great. He says it's not his favorite way of listening to the broadcast, but it sure does come in handy, and I have to agree. I use Kiwi SDR quite a bit. I don't get the 15770 kilohertz here to Hawaii, and I don't get 3975 kilohertz broadcast from Germany here in Hawaii either. So I use Kiwi SDR quite a bit to check and see how the broadcast is going out. So thanks again, Justin. And that's going to wrap up our mailbag segment. So continue to please send in those emails. It is really helpful for me. Even if I get them from the same listeners or or new listeners is great. Sending them in so I know how the propagation is going. I know how the signal is going out to your area. So please keep them coming in. If you haven't sent an email before, please considering doing so. It's the only way I can tell that the people are out there listening, and it really, really helps a lot. So send in your emails to VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com. Or you can head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on the mail icon and contact us that way. So I want to do a quick update from an equipment segment that I did not too long ago. And I was going over my headphones, my One Audio Pro 50 headphones. And during that segment, I had talked about, I had them for quite a while, over a year, and that the earmuffs, the leather cushions that go over your ears, they were starting to, the leather was starting to break and flake off. And then across the top, there's a padded band up there also, and that was doing the same thing. And it was definitely getting a little irritating because every time I put them on, I'd get these little flakes of black, in my hair. I'd have them on my shoulders, and they get in my ears. So I didn't notice it right away. And then, of course, I was starting to wonder where all these were coming from, all these little black flakes. And so I looked into it, and I wanted to get replacement pads, and then see if I can get anything for the top pad going across. So I was able to find the pads, and you can find them on Temu if you want to shop on Temu, and they're about $3 to $5. They'll probably go up to about $10. I ended up purchasing mine off of Amazon, and I paid $9 for them. And in looking at that, for that pad going across, they had one, and it was about $28, I believe. And I certainly didn't want to spend that much for it. So at the time, I just took some black cloth that I had, and I wrapped it around, and I put some electrical tape on the ends of it, and it worked fine. But in the meantime, I was showing it to my wife, and when she was going through Temu, she did find it is a silicone sweat-proof headband cover suitable for most headphones. So, and again, it was really cheap, because the typical Temu, it was $3.12. So I just told her, yeah, go ahead, get it. She added it on to one of the orders, that she had. And again, of course, because it's Temu, it did take a little bit longer to get, but it did come in, and basically it looked like a thick ribbon. But it was a stretchy type material with a zipper, of course, on each end. And so what you had to do is you had to fold it over the headphone, the band on the headphone, and then connect the zipper and zip it across. I had it on in less than 30 seconds. It really was easy, and it was great to do. Matter of fact, I just put it right over my repair that I previously did, and you can't even see it now. I may take that off and just take off my repair and just put this right over it, but it does work. And the good part about this one too is that you're not going to have any more flaking of that problem. The material is not going to. It's not like that leather or any type of imitation leather that's going to crack. It's kind of a stretchy material, a little bit of elastic. So it goes on. It's probably going to cover a wide band of headphones. It lists here again. Now it is Temu, so they don't have much for descriptions, but it says it's compatible with the Sony WH-1000 XM3 and 4, the WH-CH-72 720N, the Altware and Soundcore Space Q45, the Life Q30, and Q20. It does say that it's washable also. So it didn't even list my my headphones on there, but it did give a length on there, and so it was going to fit. I figured it was close enough. For $3, I figured I would just go ahead and give it a try. So again, I'm really happy with this, and it has worked out great. Now the headphones look just like they're brand new again. So I just wanted to update you on that. It's something you can get. You can get cheaply if you want. I didn't check Amazon to see if they have it. I will put a page on this over on our website at VOSRinternational.com. Go over there and check it out. I'll have a link to Temu. I'm not affiliated with it at all, so you can go check it out if you want. Take a look and see if it's something that might work for you. I will also put the link for the headphones that I have so that you can compare them with what you have and to see if it will work. So this is something that I was really happy with, and it was a cheap solution to the problem. So let us know. Send us an email at VOSRINT@yahoo.com. That's VOSRINT@yahoo.com, or head over to our website at VOSRinternational.com, and you can click on our mail icon and contact us that way.
And that concludes our broadcast. Be sure to catch our broadcasts every Saturday at 0300 UTC on 9455 kHz, and also on Saturdays at 2300 UTC on 15770 kHz. Transmitted by WRMI Radio Miami International from Okeechobee, Florida. We are also broadcasting on Thursdays at 1900 UTC on 3975 kHz. Transmitted by Shortwave Radio in Lower Saxony, Germany. Until next time, ahoy ho everyone.